everyone, LJ Gnaga here with LJ Realties, and this week I'm going to talk to you about the difference between buying 2 triplexes or a 6plex, the advantages, the disadvantages, and what my recommendations are. So like most of these things, it really depends on you. There are pros and cons to both sides of the equation. Let's start with the 2 triplexes. First of all, you can finance them both residentially, which means that the financing is really going to depend on what your level of income is. It does not matter how much the building is actually bringing in. While that will be considered, it's not the main variable. I generally prefer to go to more doors. More doors is always better and it always comes with more advantages. The reason being is that if one tenant leaves, you have less vacancies, so the risk is spread out over more units. If we compare 2 triplexes to 1 sixplex, you can say, well, it's the same amount of units, whereas the risk difference. The difference then becomes in the actual structure, the roof, the windows, the foundation, all of the portions that are common to a building, where if you have everybody in one building, you have one roof. You don't have to worry about 2 of them, so it's replacing 1 instead of 2. The same thing happens with foundations. If you have a foundation issue, you're only looking at 1 building's foundation versus 2. So the more you can keep your costs aligned into one building and have more tenants within that building, the better economies of scale you're going to have and the more financially sound your investment will be. On the 6plex, generally speaking, you have to get commercial financing, and that means that the building, or the bank, pardon me, is actually looking at what kind of revenue is the property bringing in, what are the expenses associated there too, and then they're going to calculate what the economic value is for the building, and they will lend on a percentage of that. So it's a lot more math, it's a lot more calculations, and generally speaking, you will get a lower amount from the bank than if you had financed it residentially. There is RBC and Desjardins that will go up to 6 doors and 8 doors, respectively, under the residential side, but those are kind of the exceptions as opposed to the norm. So beyond that, triplex versus 6plex, it really depends on what you're looking at, what location you're looking at, what the actual price is. There's a lot of other variables to consider, but if you can keep everything streamlined into one building, that's always my recommendation. As you continue to grow, you will then be able to refinance commercially and not have that on your personal debt sheet as well. So there comes with that advantage as well. Thank you so much for watching. If you have more questions, please feel free to reach out. This is a very long-winded topic that requires a lot more kind of explanation, so I'd be happy to go over it in detail with you. Take care. See you next week.